Raider Nation, what's up? It is your boy MC Raider, and you are tuning in to the MC Raider Show. Today we have a great episode for everyone. But before we get started, I do want to give a shout out to Woodson Whiskey, our sponsors. If you haven't tried Woodson Whiskey, go ahead and go online and order it, or hit me up. I'll try to hook you up with some bottles. Also to Sario's Fresh Stop here in the city of Pico Rivera. If you're trying to lose weight, me, go check them out. They got all the fresh juices. They got some amazing salads. Go check them out. And also OJ's Fitness here on Instagram. I'll leave all their information in the description below, and go ahead and check them out. And today we do have Jem the Baker, everyone. So let's give a shout out to her. Or should we say Dr. Baker, baby? Give it up for her.
Hey.
Hey, how are you today?
I'm great. I'm kind of a fraud. I'm finishing my dissertation this week. So okay. I'm going to be a doctor officially, but I did all the fancy graduation stuff before I actually finished. But how are you?
That's awesome. Congratulations. No, I'm doing great. Actually, I'm pretty busy with a lot of stuff. I have a live show coming up this Friday, and I'm pretty excited for that.
That's exciting.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I have Raider fans from all over, like down here, going to that brewery. And
that's great.
Should be exciting. Yeah, we're gonna have the live show where we speaking throughout the speakers, and it's gonna be awesome. But hey, so I've been following you for quite some time now, even before I got into the whole TikTok thing and
okay.
podcast. Yeah, I had followed you for a while and enjoy all your content. It's pretty funny. and
likewise, yeah.
But just tell us about us. You know, like I know there's a lot of Raider fans that follow you, but really don't know. I know that you're from the Bay Area and you're a Dodger fan, so that's kind of weird. But So tell us where your background and kind of start off like how you got into like the sports situation.
Yeah, that's a great. So you're right. I do. So I live in the Bay Area now. I am actually from my family lives in Arcadia. So I'm from Arcadia. That's how I got the LA sports background. So Dodgers, Lakers, USC. People are always like, well, this doesn't make sense. And not to like talk crap right off the bat, but someone yesterday said LA Raider fans are fake. And I was like, you, sir, are wrong. I feel like LA sports fans in general are so passionate. But yeah, my dad, I don't know if he like actually wanted to have a son, but I'm the oldest daughter. He has two daughters. So I kind of became I played sports, started like when I could hold a baseball bat, and he took me to my first Dodger game when I was 5. And I've just been, that's how I connect with my dad, through sports. So just been a sports fan ever since.
Yeah. It's awesome how, everyone, starts off by their pops or mom taking them to a football game or a baseball game. It's awesome because my oldest son, my stepson, he's a Giants fan. Baseball. I'm not a baseball fan at all. Okay. So I could really say I'm one of those guys that jump in the bandwagon when the Dodgers are in the playoffs, because I don't see no Dodger game all year long. Once the playoffs start, then I'll sit down and watch a game.
That's what it matters.
I don't own a Dodgers shirt or a hat or nothing, but I'll go for the Dodgers. But my oldest son went to a Giants game with like some friends that were Giants fans. They took him when he was small, a kid, and ever since he just became a Barry Bonds fan, and now he's a Giants fan. It happens. Yeah. But hey, it's awesome you touch on that. The Raider fans, we'll touch that topic later on the episode, but LA Raider fans, that's something else, man. It's very hard to explain to anyone. I know Oakland has a huge fan base, and which they have all the rights. They're the original ones, but it was something about becoming an LA Raider fan. They were here for a while, and especially with all the, like, you're from Arcadia. I grew up on a really like fucked up part in LA, in South Central LA, and growing up was very difficult as a Raider fan. But either or, like, being an LA Raider fan, you become like you just said, mandatory to be tough as a Raider fan here in LA, just because of the whole nature of wearing a Raider jersey out here. So
Right.
talk about you becoming a Raider fan and your first experience at a Raider game and all that.
Yeah, so I guess that's one of the surprising things. My dad loves the Raiders. And part of it too is like huge USC family. And when the Raiders were in LA, I wouldn't say it was like a pipeline from USC to the Raiders, but we had so many amazing Trojans, Marcus Allen and Ronnie Lott and Rod Martin. And those are my dad's heroes, and those are my heroes. So I think the nature of being an LA Raider fan, it's so historical. Playing at the Coliseum. The Coliseum is such a historical place for the city of LA.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And I didn't actually get to go to a Raider game until I moved. So I spent a lot of my young years not in California. I went to Chicago, and then I worked in Boston.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I was like, I got to get out of the snow. So I finally got back to the Bay. I came to Stanford, and that's when I went to my first Raider game. So I'm still relatively new to, like, I got to go, to all the last games in Oakland, and that was really special. And it was a different kind of special than I imagine the LA games were. But yeah, I definitely miss the Oakland scene, but I guess Vegas is the future, and I'm trying to embrace it. So.
It's kind of hard to explain sometimes. Once you become a Raider fan, it's a big family, man. It's just an awesome part of being the Raider Nation.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
I talked about my experiences before on last season on my podcast, but I remember I went to the games here in LA, but I was fairly small. I was born in 1982, so in '87 that was my first game. My dad took me to see the Raiders, and ever since that was it. I became a hardcore Raider fan. And like I said, growing up wearing a Raider jersey was very difficult, especially well, us Latinos out here where I grew up was a lot of gangsters, man. And it was just like, just for me to wear a jersey was like, for my mom was like, why are you wearing that? You're going to get hit up by these gangsters and stuff like that. And anyhow, so like I said, for the LA Raiders to say that we're fake, man, no, this is like, we really bleed silver and black out here. We're an LA Raider fan, and you know about it.
Definitely.
So all right. So you obviously experienced tailgates in Oakland, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So
the ones I remember, yeah.
Can you talk about your experience in Oakland compared to Las Vegas tailgate?
Yeah, definitely. And like I was just thinking about the black hole. I was just kind of like reminiscing about how that started, and people are like, oh, it doesn't exist in Las Vegas, and I think that's kind of unfair to the founder, to Rob and like the other founders. It is different. The tailgates in Oakland, you're absolutely right. Like, it's a huge family.
Oh, yeah.
You could walk, and if you wore an opposing team's jersey, you were gonna get yelled at. But I never actually saw a fight happen, like a physical fight. I know they happen because that's what happens in sports.
Yeah, that is a completely like made up story. Like, every time I've been to Oakland game, obviously, if you were the opposite team, people would just be like, Raiders, they scream at you or whatever. But it was always fun and games and love at the game. It was just awesome. Obviously, the fights that happens everywhere, man. People get intoxicated, they're drunk, and then you say the wrong thing, and then it happens anywhere. But that was one of the things. I just want to clear that out because people were always saying, no, I never went to Oakland game because I didn't want to get, But yeah, keep going, because also the tailgates are awesome. Yeah.
Oh, Oakland also, if you think about some of these other stadiums, I think one of the problems with Vegas is that people go to Vegas and there's things to do right by the stadium that aren't at the stadium. You can drink and get really drunk before the game at the Mandalay Bay. In Oakland, like you weren't gonna tailgate at like the random like auto shop that was across the street,
Yeah.
So everybody was there, and I think you would walk up and down these aisles, and like people just knew each other. Like we'd walk up and down, and people would be, especially if you dressed up, people knew you. It took like 2 hours to get out of the parking lot because everybody was like, let me get a picture. But that was just, you're right. It was just a big family. I think in Vegas, like it's on a smaller scale. People are trying, like, I want to give everybody credit that, goes to Vegas and is trying to recreate the atmosphere. It's smaller, it's quieter. It's also like the first couple of games, it's like 112 degrees outside. So it's,
I just don't think it would. I don't think Vegas would ever be like an Oakland experience. Just because, you're right. I mean, I remember you get to Oakland, and by 6 a.m. there's already a big ass line to trying to get into the parking lot in Oakland. And I can remember like it takes me back, like if I was a kid. Like I just remember everyone going in the parking lot and they start setting up for the tailgate, and you start, dude. It's just that feeling was amazing. When you go to Vegas, like it's exactly what you're saying. Like you have no rush to get to the stadium because you're in Vegas. Like you wake up in a hotel room and you're already like probably fucked up already in the morning. Like you're like, oh, I'm not.
A lot of people,
people are not rushing to go drink and party at the stadium. And then one of the things that I really like about Vegas is that you notice how they open the stadium so early. Like you could go in the stadium early.
Yeah, people go in.
Yeah. And like I'm saying, talk about that. Like what's the pros and cons you think Vegas? Because I know there's still to this day there's a lot of Raider fans, LA fans, and Oakland fans that have not experienced the Las Vegas experience over there. So let them know how you feel when you showed up to your first game in Vegas.
Yeah, and I mean, I definitely acknowledge like the frustration, and because like that was a way for people to really feel like they were part of a family in Oakland and LA, and that for a lot of people feels like that's taken away. It's you can't like I was talking about this with Raider Kush. Like one weekend in Vegas for a Raider game is probably going to cost you, even if it's like you and a partner, upwards of $500 or $600 if you stay in a like cheap hotel and you eat cheap. It's not attainable for a lot of people. Like, and this whole thing about visiting fans, I think that gets blown out of proportion. I think there's still like Raider fans there. But like for the visiting fan, like imagine living in Kansas City, no offense, but like you get to come to Vegas. Like, of course I'm going to go.
Right.
It's a destination. And I think, there's a lot of distractions. I also think if the team starts playing better, then people, like we've seen with the Knights, Vegas has the potential to have an intense fandom. I think the Raiders are overshadowed right now.
Yeah. And now that you hit that topic, the Las Vegas Raiders are really pressured now to win a freaking Super Bowl, or at least be consistent in the playoffs. Because now you have not only the WNBA team that won the championship team, what are they called?
Right.
The what's the
Aces?
basketball team? The Aces, and then the Knights just won. So now it's like, okay, like we're pressured. Like it's exactly. But yeah, it's true. And for me as a Raider fan, it's sad that I honestly believe that there will never be more Raider fans in Vegas at games. Just because, I mean, if it's a playoff game, it just, every game I've been there, it's always like either more than 50-50 other fans, because like you said, if you live in Tennessee, the Titans or whatever, and it's like, okay, Vegas, like they circle that game on their calendar, and like our openers, like how many Steeler fans out there? There's so many. It's gonna be insane. And
so annoying.
Yeah, you know that. I know for a fact, soccer games, they sell, like they have tickets for the visitors and tickets for the home, and they try to sell more for the home games. And they have like a section.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, they have like a section where, well, I think in football too. Like if you look at Ticketmaster, they have like the away and the home to sit. But in reality, like the soccer games, they sell those tickets only for the visiting team on that side, and it's always that section.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed
Oh,
that.
that's good.
Yeah, that's so. I mean, that'll be cool to see, but if it's all scattered around like that, and yeah, I don't know. It's a sad thing for me. Like we don't have that much fans in Vegas. I think the fans from LA
Yeah.
and Oakland are the ones that travel out there. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we all are like, we're all having to like share information on like hotels and flights. I mean, God, we should have chartered flights to Vegas
Yeah,
from
no
LA.
shit.
And
Yeah. So now that we're in the Vegas situation, we're gonna fast forward from Oakland and everything. But have you noticed the division with the Raider Nation with everything that's been going on? I mean, it's a real thing. Starting from CARR, that's a whole nother story.
yeah.
We're still talking about CARR. Like as much as I say let's stop talking about CARR, every single podcast I listen to, every ESPN, they always bring up CARR, something connected with the Raider Nation.
It's in our
Now
face.
you got this guy talking about his wife crying and whatever. Like even if it's a joke or not, it just starts another like a soap opera, like just to start talking about that. So talk about Jem,
Yeah.
what's your experience? Obviously, I don't want to talk a lot about CARR, but it's a real thing. It's a real thing.
Yeah,
He was our quarterback for 9 years, and like it or not, we still talk about him because it's a real thing. If every fan has their different experience, how they feel about it, and so just kind of touch on it on that, and then kind of transition to when we got Jimmy Garoppolo, and we go from there.
Yeah, and you're right. Like it's hard to not talk about it when it's all over Twitter and these quotes are coming out and CARR's like, and it's also hard to contextualize. Like he's saying they made his wife cry. Like, what does that mean? Like I cried too because I was stressed out and my team was not doing well.
But he was being sarcastic. He was being sarcastic.
Yeah, like so, and then people are over here defending his wife, and I'm like, okay, it must be hard to be an NFL wife, sure, on certain things. It also must not be as hard to like get all the paychecks. Like there's complications.
Look, I'm not saying anything, but I think women are stronger than men. I'm just being honest. I think CARR was the one that was crying, not his wife.
I would not disagree with you.
Yeah, my wife would have been like, "Man, fuck them." My wife would have been talking shit, like not crying. You know what I mean? So
burn the place down.
But he says that, and now it's like Jesus Christ. You got to listen to every single show. What's his name? Stephen A. Smith, for crying out loud, was talking about it. It's like, come on,
I can't.
It's just ridiculous. And now that's all we're listening to right now. So anyhow, I really want to know how you felt just knowing that we were going to get a new quarterback and then getting Jimmy Garoppolo now. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I went back and forth on it. Like it was so, at one point everybody was like, we're going to get Tom Brady. And to be honest, I was like, let's effing go. Like I feel like a hypocrite because I realized the Dodgers played the Astros this past weekend. And I've been saying like, yeah, I've moved on, like whatever. And then when one of the Astros like hit a grand slam, I was pissed. I was like, fuck, like I'm not over it, I guess. And to say like, to tell people to get over the Tuck rule, I guess is hypocritical of me. I'm not going to tell anybody how to fan, but I was maybe excited about the potential of Tom Brady. Like you can't say anything about
it's Tom Brady
being amazing. Yeah. When that seemed like less of a possibility, I was kind of hoping we might try a rookie. I think when we first got Jimmy, I was like, man, like, I don't know about this. I think the contract that they gave him like is pretty favorable. It was a lot cheaper than I thought. And I think part of the reason we're all kind of arguing about CARR and we're still because we're in this limbo. We have no idea, he's still healing, so we don't know what he looks like. There's pros. He knows the system. He knows McDaniels. I think part of the problem with CARR is that there was some leadership, scuffing. And Jimmy loves Josh McDaniels, or he grew up under him, but we don't know. We don't know what he's going to do. And I think that's hard to, have to defend somebody we don't have any track record with.
Yeah. I just feel like, I just feel like a lot of division happened with the Raider Nation, though, just the way they let CARR go.
Yeah.
Even if there's a Raider fan out there, if you love CARR or didn't love CARR, I just think it was just the wrong way they went about it. Especially losing that Christmas Eve game, fuck, it was just horrible. It was against the Steelers, and then CARR, I mean, shit, dude, it was super cold and snowing. Who cares if you're human? It's difficult to play in those circumstances, but just the way you lost that game, we lost that game, and then that was it for him. That was his last game as a Raider, and that was pretty tough. I mean, the way they let him go, and I think that's what started a lot of Raider fans. Not the old school Raider fans like me and you. I mean, I wouldn't say old school, but I don't know. But the younger, the younger Raider fans, they're probably okay, whatever, let's move on. But as an older Raider fan, I was like, man, that dude was Raider no matter what, through good and bad times with us, and they should have at least do a farewell game or announce it, or even if they would have announced it before the game, hey guys, this will be Derek Carr's last game. We're gonna sit him down for the last two or whatever, and then that would have been cool, but obviously that didn't happen. So we get Jimmy Garoppolo. Everything you said was just right on, because maybe within weeks before that, when they started mentioning Jimmy Garoppolo, I was like, man, fuck Jimmy Garoppolo. I just, you know what I mean?
Hard to him.
But once he became a Raider, then I started kind of softening up, and I was like, shit, that's our quarterback. But
you want
look, I want to know your take on this, but this is my take. I really believe that Jimmy Garoppolo wants to prove something, not only to us Raider fans, but to the NFL. Period.
Yeah.
Because being under the shadow of Tom Brady, he was never going to flourish in New England. He goes to the Niners, and shit, he goes to the Super Bowl and plays just a couple plays away from winning the Super Bowl, and he loses, and then they get all these good rookie quarterbacks, and they just literally fucking move him to the side, and so disrespectful. Obviously, you get hurt. Okay, you got hurt. You're injury prone, and that takes a toll on you, but I think he has this opportunity to really show the NFL, look, I'm not an elite like Patrick Mahomes or Aaron Rodgers. I mean, you could get there, but what inspires me, because if I was in his position, I'm like, shit, I'm gonna go out there and really ball the fuck out and show these people who I am. You know what I mean? So that's my take.
Yeah, I mean,
go ahead.
Yeah, I hope you're right. I hope so too, and I think, I hope that this idea of a winning organization. I mean, as much as I hate the 49ers, it's hard to deal with them up here because they're everywhere. My neighbor was leaving me notes on my door after New Year's. But I can't deny the winning culture of the organization is important. The Raiders don't have that. We haven't had that for a while. And nothing against Gruden or CARR, but we haven't had that. And I think Jimmy wants to create that. I think Josh McDaniels wants to create that. I don't know if Josh is doing that in the best way, but
look, I give I'm all for second chances all the time.
Yeah.
And last year, Derek Carr and Josh McDaniels, it was not going to work since the beginning. And Derek Carr loves audibles. That the freedom that Derek Carr been having in the line all way back since Jack Del Rio and Gruden and even Sasha, it was like, okay, Carr, you do what you have to do. You audible, you do change plays. You have the freedom to do all that. With Josh McDaniels, was like, no, buddy, you're going to throw the ball where I tell you, or this is your other option. Exactly. That's it. You know what I mean? So that was the frustration that was with Derek Carr the whole time this last season, and he couldn't buy into that, and it was just not going to work. But in all reality, look, it was just frustration with the quarterback. But look, we won 6 games, but we only got our ass kicked twice all season long.
Right.
The Saints, we didn't even, we got our ass blown, and then the last game with the Chiefs. Every other game we lost either in the last minute of the fourth quarter or we lost by 6 points or whatever. And we were there in all these games. So now, second season with Josh McDaniels, and hey, here we go. So kind of talking those points. Obviously, I'm gonna put it for you. Talk about how you hear about the Raiders are the Patriots way now with all these Patriots
Oh my
players.
God, yeah.
Okay, talk about that, and then talk about your expectation for this new season and how many games you think the Raiders are going to win.
Ooh, yeah. So on your point about like we were in almost every game. I think the number was 17. It was like the Raiders would score 17 points unanswered. It was like 17-0. It would be 17-0 at halftime, and then the third quarter would start and it would just take a nosedive. I remember so many times being like, oh God, here we go again. They're scored 17. We're gonna
yeah.
It's like, oh
yeah.
So I think so we're talking what is the Raiders record gonna be?
And the Raiders record the first one is your expectation for the season, and then talk about the how the Patriots way now. So
the Patriots, yes, players. Of course. Yeah. Right. Everybody's mad. We we're Raider Nation. We have reason to hate everybody. We definitely have reason to hate the Patriots. I mean, I think Josh McDaniels he's got his system. It's a very hard system to learn, apparently. It's very complicated, and he wants people that have proven that they can learn the system. I don't have a problem with that. I know it's kind of like it feels like it's kind of an icky taste in our mouth, but the Patriots won. Like they're still a winning organization, even though they didn't do very well last year. I hate to say it, but it's better than signing any random like receiver or tight end or whatever just to like. I think they're trying to manage money better, and they're trying to get people that can gel in this system that McDaniels has created.
I mean, Jim, that's exactly right. I don't understand why the hate from all these other Raider fans were like, dude, these Patriot players that came over to Vegas, they didn't come over here just to sit on their asses and be like, okay, let's lose again. Like, no, they want to win. They came here for a reason, right?
Yeah.
Like, and then they came here also knowing that they know the system with Josh McDaniels. So it's like, let's go.
Yeah.
Like, you're not just gonna be there and don't know shit. Like, you're ready to go, and that's the whole point. And
got a leg up.
Yeah, so all this Patriot way shit, I mean, I get it, but dude, these guys are here to ball out.
Yeah, like let's go beat the Patriots then. Like, and maybe that will shut. People always have to be unhappy about whatever. I think the reality is like people are Josh McDaniels still has a lot to prove, and that's fair. And any way that people can hate on him and that organization and the like front office, they're going to until proven otherwise. It'll be interesting to see if we do have a winning season, what people like will say about the Patriots.
I really believe we're gonna have a good season. Honestly, like I
do too.
It's a weird feeling compared to last season, because last season we got Devontae Adams and oh shit, we're gonna the Super Bowl. Everybody was like, and then it just came in. But I really believe that we're gonna be badass next season. Honestly, I just have a feeling we're gonna.
I do too.
Yeah, and so okay, the Patriots way you touched that subject. I want to know legit. ESPN has us winning 4 games. Okay.
Come on.
Yeah, I mean it's on there. You can check it out. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's on there. If you go on YouTube, it's reported. They have our whole schedule.
Oh yeah.
And they have 4
games.
They
have us picking first in the draft and shit. Like
so that's the thing. Like Dude, there's so many Raider fans that want the Raiders to tank this coming season.
I listen, and I'm a USC lover. I love USC. I love Caleb Williams. I hate the idea of tanking for one player. I mean, I hate the idea of tanking in general. I don't think Josh McDaniels has room to tank. Like, his job is on the line.
Exactly.
I just don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah. I don't want to mention names, but fuck it. Wi-Fi Willie. I don't know if you see him, but this guy's like so dramatic, and he's like,
I've heard that name. Yeah.
Yeah. He's on YouTube, and I don't give a shit if he sees it, but he's like, oh, we're obviously on a rebuild year, and we're rebuilding this coming season. Like, he just like, that's all he talks about. How the fuck is it a rebuild? Like, I don't understand. Maybe you're rebuilding the defense.
Yeah, we did. And we did. Like, I think we were going to have a better defense.
Exactly.
I really do.
But I don't understand how you could look at our offense and say it's a rebuild. How?
Yeah, because we have a new quarterback. I mean,
look, exactly, but it's not a rookie quarterback to begin with. He's been in the system before. The other right receivers that we got, I think the only rookie guy that's on our offense, it will be Mike Meyer, the tight end.
Yeah, that badass dude from New York.
Exactly, and they already fucked around and signed them quick. Like, bro, sign this contract. They know what's up. You know,
that was a good signing.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, definitely. So, yeah. Back to my question. Sorry, I just get into it so much. But how many games do you think we're going to win?
No, I love it.
Honestly, how many games would you think we're going to win?
I mean, I think we have the potential to win 10 games. I think our division is tough, but I think because of division rivalry, I mean, knock on wood, knock on my head, like we own the Broncos. I know they're going to be better. But
let me give you the I'm going to give you the first 6 games of our schedule. Okay. And just give me your take there, and then we'll just go from there, because this could go anywhere. But Raiders Broncos, September 10.
So the Broncos have a very high winning percentage early on in the season at home. I think we win that game.
I tell you why we win this game. It's gonna be Sean Payton's first year. They're barely learning all his shit. Russell Wilson, they're trying to get, so it's gonna be like a work in progress game. I think it'll be a close game. Yeah, but I think the Raiders win. So you think you have us winning? Yeah. Okay. Raiders Bills.
Even if it's an overtime. That's a tough one at Buffalo. I think we might not win that game, but stranger things have happened. So
yeah, I was with Chris, from Protect the Shield. Shout out to Protect the Shield.
Chris.
We were going over this too, and I asked him a question like, "What do you?" Okay, and then I said, "Okay, so Raiders Bills," and he was like, he was trying to give me this whole thing about like how we're like, we might win, but we're gonna lose. And I cut him off. I was like, "Man, we're gonna lose that fucking game."
Yeah, so anyways, okay.
I posted that little clip on TikTok and Instagram, and shoot, it went south from there. Like all these Raider fans, like, "Oh, you're a Raider fan, so why you say we're gonna lose? You think we're gonna win every game?" Like, oh god,
Come
it was
on.
just like, yeah, it just went crazy. Okay, so you see Raiders Broncos win, Raiders Bills take an L there. So we're 1-1 to open our season, to open our home, right? So 1-1 to start off September 24th. Steelers Raiders.
Yeah,
Sunday night game.
We win that game. Yeah. I mean, prime time, we definitely have something to prove. We got to get revenge. And I think, but hopefully by that time, if Jimmy's our QB, he's settled in. So I think we win that game. Yeah.
So that we're in the right track there. We're 2-1 right there after that game, right?
That's great.
So 3 games, we're 2-1. Our next game will be Raiders at home in LA versus the Chargers. That would be a good game too. So, okay, what did you do there?
God. Speaking of fans like filling out stadiums, I mean, you've been to SoFi? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, we're pretty loud and pretty like upfront there.
Oh yeah.
I mean, not to like trash talk, but
Look,
yeah.
I've been to a Raider Charger game, and it's easily 70-30 Raider fans there.
Yeah.
70%. Okay. And I've been to a Raiders Rams game, and it's easy like 60-40. It's like more Raider fans all the time.
Yeah.
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 All
These
the time.
Rams fans are like,
Well, go
I don't
ahead.
know. They're very sensitive. Sorry.
Those Rams fans are undercover Cowboy fans. That's what I call
Okay,
them.
so we could go into the whole history of LA, but like, and I have problems with Cowboy fans in my DMs all the time.
I'm the number one hater.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly.
I have to say, there's more Cowboy fans in LA than Rams and Chargers.
Oh, by far. I have episodes on that. Like I legit have.
I've seen some of them. I'm like,
I've gone as far as calling sports stores all over LA to see like what jersey sells more during the football season, and it's always Raiders, Cowboys, and then Niners. They don't sell Rams and Chargers jerseys as much as these other teams, But that's a complete different topic now because
we gotta do another show.
Yeah, that's exactly there. And these Rams fans were all Cowboy fans. To tell you the truth, those are the ones that were like, oh, we have a team in LA now, so I'm gonna become a Rams fan. And then when they made that Super Bowl run, shit, they threw all their Cowboy shit and put on Rams jerseys. I could just assure you that's what happened. But
yeah,
anyhow,
absolutely.
Raiders Chargers. Who you got
anyway,
now?
I digress.
Who you got? Raiders Chargers.
Okay. I think we should win that game. Or at least over the course of the season, I think we should split with the Chargers. Depending on injury and all of that, but I think we should have won the game, the first game against the Chargers last year. And
that's that game we were doing that comeback, right?
Yeah.
And what's it do that walk barefoot? Mac Hollins hit that touchdown.
I loved him so much.
Yeah. But I got to look into the record too. I don't think Derek Carr has a winning record against the Chargers in LA.
No,
to tell you the truth.
I think it was one game
when he threw the ball. Remember that when he threw the ball remember that game? I don't remember what year was it, but I have to look into that.
Right. Yeah.
So,
but
that one could go either or. That one could go either or for you.
That's a tough one. It should be another good game, but
yeah. So right now we'll end up that'll be 2-2 a record if we lose that game.
Yeah, even if we lose, like that's 2-2, and then I think
and then we have primetime Monday Night Football, Packers Raiders, the week after that.
Yeah, I think we're gonna win that game. I just have a gut feeling
we're gonna beat the dog shit out of the Packers that game.
Yeah, I mean, let's go.
The dog shit out of them.
We definitely want to.
Yeah. I think we'll win that game and then we'll lose. Honestly, I think we're losing the following game, Patriots Raiders.
That's possible. Yeah. I mean, ending.
I just really think Raiders will be very hyped for that Monday night game. And like if we lose to the Chargers the week before that, it's gonna be on like, oh shit, we gotta win this. You know what I mean? That's what I think.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. Short rest.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be tough. The Patriots is going to be tough.
So 2-2 after the Chargers game, we beat the Packers. That's 3-2. Then we have the Patriots here. Win the bean 3-3 again if we lose to the Patriots.
Yeah.
But now we have the Bears, the Lions, and the Giants. And I'll just stop there.
Okay. Chicago, it shouldn't be too cold. I lived in Chicago. The weather is very unpredictable. It shouldn't be too cold. I think based just on like teams, I think we should beat them.
I'm trying to go to that game actually.
Chicago is an amazing city.
Yeah.
And I would definitely recommend if that's like an away game you can go to.
Yeah. So I've been in Chicago, but I was literally there for 2 days. I did I hustled photography for a while. Like I was doing weddings or quinceañeras and stuff like that just to make extra money.
I'm gonna keep you in mind then.
They flew me to Chicago for a quinceañera actually. And so I literally got there Friday night and then Saturday was the quinceañera, and then I flew
The
back
whole
Sunday
day
morning.
too.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
as soon as the quinceañera was over, I literally went to the airport and I stayed there. I slept there because the 5:30 a.m. I fly back to LA Sunday morning. It was
Oh,
horrible.
brutal.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's brutal.
Yeah, but yeah. So we have Jimmy Garoppolo. It's not like Derek Carr's gonna play in the cold anymore, and Jimmy knows he was in New England,
Right?
so
We're so traumatized. We're like, oh, it's gonna snow. We're gonna lose. Sorry.
exactly. So okay, I think we'll beat the Bears. What do you think?
Yeah, I think we can beat the Bears and the Giants.
Yeah,
Facing our good old friend Darren Waller, but I think
isn't
we
it
should
like
win those games.
it's like Bears and then Lions back to back, right?
Oh yeah, and I mean, we should beat the Lions too. Right, we do like a little Midwest tour, and then
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I think we should win all those games, to be honest.
Yeah.
And that would make us we're now 6-3.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're on our way. I mean,
Yeah, we're on our way. Yeah, so I'll stop there with the schedule. I don't want to go through the whole thing. I actually had never even done a whole video of my expectations, but yeah, so we'll stop there. But how many games do you think we're winning? Back to that question.
I'm gonna say 10. I think that's a good number. I think it gets us in the playoffs. God, if the Raiders go to the Super Bowl in Vegas, like I'm selling my leg and my kidney, and like I will do other unspeakable things. We have to be there.
Can you imagine the Raiders go to the Super Bowl versus the New Orleans Saints?
Oh my God.
Oh God, dude.
I mean, it's a media frenzy. They would love that.
Derek Carr going down the tunnel in Super Bowl in Vegas.
I'd boo. I'm sorry, but I would boo anyone, but I would boo. I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. Oh God, yeah. I think we're right on there. On my last episode, I said Raiders are winning 9 or 10 games, and I think they'll put us in the playoffs. And oh man, it's going to be a roller coaster of another season again. And
it sure is. We're always like, people were arguing the other day. I saw some people were arguing like, no, this game was more stressful. No, this game, and I'm like, guys.
Every fucking game.
We've lost years of our lives. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm surprised I'm still married. Tell you the truth.
What is so? Is your wife like?
Flag.
Oh man, it's a sign.
Is my wife what?
Is your wife a huge fan too? Like, how does she react to games and like what?
Yeah, my wife. She's a Raider fan, a big Raider fan, but she's more realistic than me. She's not a hardcore fan. She'll just tell me the truth.
Oh, okay.
She'll just tell you the truth. She'll tell me the truth right now. She'll tell you one day, like, hey, Derek Carr's playing like a bitch today. We're gonna lose. And she'll just she honest to God, I'm lying to you. She'll tell me like in the first quarter, he's like, he's being a bitch today. We don't even watch the game. And she'll literally walk away wearing her shit. And I'm there like that pissed. She's like, I don't know why you watch that shit. You're so fucking mad. Like she'll tell you the truth. One time, it's funny you say that. One time, I don't remember the year exactly, but we got in this huge argument, me and my wife, in the morning, and maybe because I get so hyped for a Raider game, and I was already planning shit like before the sun came out, and I was already like making coffee, and I was bringing out my grill or whatever at home.
Oh yeah,
and she's like, "What the fuck are you doing? Like you're like the game hasn't even started yet," and we got into it, right? And then we were playing the Rams when they were in St. Louis, and before she walked out, she had to work that morning. She's like, look, your stupid ass Raiders are gonna lose. They're not even gonna score a fucking point. And we lost 55-0, dude.
No.
Yeah. You remember that game?
I remember that game. Now I'm like, man, this was all your fault. No.
No shit. She said that. She walked away. She came back home and she was just laughing. And it was my worst day ever, too, dude. God. We literally did it. We lost 55-0. Yeah. But anyhow, yeah, my wife's a big fan, and she loves going to the games, and she loves it. But
I love it.
She's not like us, like hardcore, like shit. Like I'm already I mean,
It's hard.
we're in June for crying out loud, and we're here like getting ready for the fucking game, But yeah,
Yeah.
it's
I know.
yeah,
Like looking at, I was at the airport the other day and I was like, man, I love it. Like when it's before the game and there's all these Raider fans and we're all loud and obnoxious and there's possibilities and everybody's like happy. And I miss that. I can't wait for
yeah,
that to come back.
yeah. It's awesome. I think I'm gonna have a great year also because as you know, I'm sober from alcohol right now. I'm 9 months
Yeah,
sober.
congratulations. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. So, and I'm really pushing forward to like living a sober life. I love it, and
Yeah,
I think Raider football is going to be less stressful for me in that sense because I'm not going to be drunk or and
definitely.
having an excuse to get fucked up every time we lose. And my wife's going to feel
Right.
better. She's going to feel better. I went through last season sober. It was after the third game where I like really hit rock bottom on drinking. I was like, I'm getting drunk a lot, and I stopped. And
Mhm.
it was hard. It was hard to go to the season not drinking, but this time I feel stronger and better, and I just think it's gonna be cool with the wife not knowing that I won't be fucked up and I'll be cool during the games, and that's awesome. So yeah, I just want to shout
Yeah.
out to the wife here if she sees this. Yeah,
Yeah, shout out. I mean, no,
yeah, yeah,
we're all like, as a nation, we're all really proud of you. And I've seen other fans like be inspired to do the same. It's really inspiring. Because I mean, as much as like, I want people to have fun, I want people to have a good time, but I've definitely seen my fair share. And once or twice, like I'm like, what am
yeah,
I doing?
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
It's yeah.
It's just like it was hard to accept. Like once I opened a beer, like I couldn't, like I had to keep on drinking. Like I wouldn't stop after
I
like
feel that,
three,
yeah.
and it's like, oh shit. But hey, man, it's awesome. I'm very motivated. And then Max Crosby, I don't know if you saw, he shared my
I was like, let's go. That's
yeah,
so
yeah.
cool.
That's so
Yeah.
I'm committed to wearing my custom jerseys that say MC Raider throughout the season. If I'm not wearing that, I'm gonna wear Max
Yes.
Crosby all the time. That's my guy,
Oh man.
big time. Like he's a
Yeah.
Raider for life, man.
Max Crosby is probably the most Raider of all the Raiders, like now and like in this generation. Like he just exudes who we are. I love
Dude,
that.
Max Crosby is a fucking Raider for life, man. This guy,
Right? Like,
yeah,
yeah,
fuck yeah, he is the definition of being a fucking Raider. And now how
absolutely.
he inspires just fucking everyone what he's doing. Like I really see a lot of Kobe mentality on him. That what he's trying to do,
Yes.
and do shout out to Kobe, man. Like you know what I mean. So
Oh, yeah,
um,
absolutely.
yeah, yeah,
RIP.
definitely. But hey, Jem, tell us where can all these Raider fans follow you if there's first time they're seeing you, and I will hold you accountable for
Yeah.
a cake for my birthday in August. So I've got to find a way to get a Raider cake from you.
Yes, let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah. So I'm really trying to do a little karaoke party out here, and so if you're in town, you're definitely
Ooh.
invited. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So where can they
Thanks.
find?
Yeah.
Give us
I'm happy to.
your social media
Yeah, if you want to
platform.
argue with me about anything, I'm on Instagram. I'm at Baker_Raiderette. And the Baker is because I bake. A lot of people think Baker's my first name, which is fine. But
Yeah.
and then on TikTok, I'm at Gem the Baker. And on YouTube, so YouTube, I will just say, is a whole nother beast. You're my
Mhm.
mentor in this new world that I'm learning. But on YouTube, I'm Gem the Baker also.
Awesome.
And yeah, it's
Okay, no, great, awesome. So yeah, go check her page out, guys. I'll leave everything in the
yeah,
description
thanks.
below, and then check out her cakes. They look great and awesome. And then hey, Jim, keep doing what you're doing. Honestly, you inspire a lot of Raider fans, and your content,
Thanks.
it's
Yeah, thank
awesome,
you.
and especially to all the sports fans out there. And it was awesome to have you on the show today. And we're
Thanks
gonna
for
keep
having me
on.
on. This is really fun.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It was a great
Yeah.
show actually today. And yeah, shout out once again to Woods and Whiskey, guys. If you like whiskey, go ahead and check them out and order it. I'm wearing Woods today. And yeah,
All right.
it's been an honor. So thank you once again. And we are out. MC Radio Show is on. Peace.
I bang with the gang that don't need no intro. We run from East Long Beach to West South.